Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2019 career mode here today for round 5 of the season for the Spanish Grand Prix. If you guys missed round 4 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, then go watch it by clicking the link in the top right hand corner of your screen. But guys, first of all, a small disclaimer, I'm a little bit ill at the moment. You might top of my voice, I'm a little bit deeper than usual, and that's why I missed the video yesterday because I've just been a little bit rough lately. But I'm going to try and push on today and feel a bit better as well, so hopefully we can try and get through this video regardless, and I hope you guys appreciate it nonetheless. But in terms of this weekend, we are here at Spain for the Spanish Grand Prix, the start of the European season, and we have some big upgrades on the car, 2 major aerodynamic upgrades onto the car this weekend, and that's going to be a big improvement and also make a big difference to the R&D graph, because we're going to massively close the gap to Red Bull at the top of the table. Also Ferrari as well, bringing some big upgrades, and they actually overtake Racing Point. And overall, the top 4 looking pretty damn exciting, to be fair, and quite close together, and it's looking quite intense going forward into the European season. But guys, we're here at Spain, and we are back on 110% AI this weekend for the Spanish Grand Prix at Catalunya. You can see on screen we did have to tackle some wet conditions in FP1. This was only for the track climatization. I then skipped to FP2 to do the remaining practice programs. And we had a pretty decent weekend. We struggled to beat the qualifying performance test. We missed out by about 0.3 of a second. But overall, the car was working okay, not phenomenal. Over one lap, I was really struggling. And I'm going to make a separate video on this, hopefully. And I'll try and keep the footage of this weekend, because I need to make a video regarding a couple of the issues I had this weekend. Because for some reason, my one lap pace around here is... I don't want to kind of spoil it, but my one lap pace around here compared to the AI, when I simulate the session time, if that makes sense, it doesn't make any sense. And the race kind of also backs that point up. So yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but something really rubbed me the wrong way here, and I'm going to make a separate video on it because it's something Codemasters need to fix now. I'm getting very annoyed, and it's been a thing now for a couple of games, and I know for a fact it's going to stay in the game, if they don't fix it. So I want to try and address this in a future video. But guys, we're here in qualifying, and we're going to focus on the task in hand. Now, after the last couple of races at China and Azerbaijan, we struggled to even get out of Q1. Well, matter of fact, we didn't get out of Q1. We actually struggled to get out completely, and yeah, the car was okay, but the pace wasn't there, and we really did struggle to progress into Q2. So hopefully we can try and correct that here today and get ourselves into Q2 for the first time since the second race of the season at Bahrain. So here we go, then hit the track in Q1 at the beautiful sunny Spain circuit here at Catalunya, and we're going to see how the car gets underway here in this qualifying session. And straight away on my first run, you'll see here we actually get underway very nicely through 1 and 2, but then through 3 I get a bit of oversteer, and that's going to send me wide onto the marbles and lose me a chunk of time through that corner, and in the end actually be about 4/10 down on Sebastian Vettel through sector 1. So already on the back foot here, but also worth pointing out, as we come towards the end of sector 2 here, you'll see we're about 9/10 down on Sebastian Vettel currently on the lap, and that's fine, because I know I'm good for the final sector. I can find some time and really improve. You'll see it in the race what I mean by that. But in this session, we're currently 9/10 down for sector 2, but then for some reason through this final sector, I lost so much time to the AI again. And it really frustrates me, because I don't know how it happens, where it happens, because there was nothing wrong with my final sector. You just saw on screen there, no real mistakes. Yet we cross the line and we drop another 4/10, and I'm mystified as to where that time has gone. And we're 1.3 down, and we have it all to do here from 18th place on the grid. As we go towards our final run here in Q1, you'll see now, down towards turn 1, picking up the apex nice and tidy there, and now through 2, really nice momentum, and this time no oversteer, and flat out almost through turn 3, and this time we're 4/10 up almost, and making up for lost time on our first run as we now come to the end of sector 1, and we're only a fraction down on Vettel. So far so good as we go through turn 5, taking a nice wide line. They're using the traction to really maximise the speed, and now down the hill towards turn 6, quickly on the power on the exit, using all the curb on the right hand side on your exit, and down the hip now towards the left and right of a chicane of 7 and 8, throw the car in, a little bit too much exit curb there. We pick up an invalidation, unfortunately, so I quickly turn the engine down and also the fuel mode, because I've got just about enough fuel to go for another lap. So we managed to get it all charged up and ready again for one more attempt here with 1 minute 50 to go as we go across the line to start our final attempt here in Q1. And we have to make this lap count because we're up against it, but I've got a car leaving the pit exit here, getting in my way. Now towards turn 1 here, and he's not going to move, and it's the Haas, and it's just going to stay there on the racing line. I tried to go down the inside of turn 3, but
be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage.
He just sat on the racing line, and out of just frustration, I veered into his path and drove across him there. But yeah, overall we're out in Q1 again, disappointing, but 1.4 of the pace, and I think on a perfect lap I could have got about 1.1 to 1 second off the pace, not much more than that. And it's really weird because last season we got into Q3. This season I struggled to get out of Q1, and it's really frustrating. And I'll make a video about this soon because there's more stuff in the race that kind of I have to show you guys before I kind of spoil it for you guys. But yeah, overall a disappointing Q1 here today, and it's only P18 for the Spanish Grand Prix. And overall, that's not what we want as we go into the race here for round 5 of the season for the Spanish Grand Prix. We've got it all to do in the race. Let's do this.
Good afternoon from a very familiar setting. It's race day here in Spain, and with everything still to play for in the championship battle, there's no room for mistakes in a Grand Prix that's well known for creating them. The Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya then, a high-speed 2.89-mile circuit which demands an efficient downforce package and bravery on the part of the driver, especially through the blind right of turn 9, which we might just see taken flat this weekend. Anthony Davidson, a very warm welcome to you as you join me in the commentary box for today's event. Let's talk about Martinez. They're starting towards the back of the field today in a car that is fast, so they'll be disappointed, won't they?
It's not a nice feeling, I promise you. They've got a quick car underneath them, but they've got onto the grid today and they need a pair of binoculars to see the start lights. They'll be desperate for a good start to make up for some of that deficit.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying from the multiple world champion. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Gasly, Max Verstappen and Hamilton, Raikkonen, Kvyat, Ricciardo and Kevin Magnussen, Sainz, Russell, Nico Hülkenberg and Norris, Giovinazzi, Bottas. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Romain Grosjean and Martinez, Stroll and Alexander Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Right, so here we are then on the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix, starting all the way down in 18th place. I've kept it on 110% AI for the race. Hopefully our race pace is better because the qualifying pace wasn't there. We was about a second or more off of Gasly's pace, to be honest, even on a perfect lap. And, you know, it's not ideal for us. So hopefully we can turn it around. The problem with qualifying or getting knocked down Q1 is that it gives a chance for the AI cars further up the field with the timing glitch, similar to the Q3 lap time glitch. It gives the AI a chance to basically all of them to qualify on the medium tyre. So I'm fully expecting the entirety of the top 10 to be starting on mediums, which is going to make our strategy a lot less effective, which is, you know, kind of annoying, but it is what it is, and we put ourselves in this situation. So in terms of our strategy, we're going to start on the mediums and go to the hards. A very simple one-stop strategy here today, and it's the much quicker way to go and the much more efficient strategy. The fuel is on the lowest setting, and we still have one extra lap of fuel, and there is no chance of rain here today. So pretty much all we can do is hopefully go forwards in this race. So let's try and be aggressive, make up those positions early on, and really try and push it into the top 10 within the first 5 laps, and then kind of manage the race from there. So with that being said, let's jump into it. It's time for round 5 for the Spanish Grand Prix. Right, here we go then. Let's get ready for the 5 red lights here at Catalunya. Build up the revs. Lights out and away we go. Good start. All bit of contact there between Bottas and Grosjean. Grosjean there clattering into Bottas. Down towards turn 1 we go. Now let's try and find a bit of space. Down the inside, we're going to just stay nice and tight to the epic stroll. We're trying to go around my outside here at turn 2. We're just going to hold the inside line as we go through 3. Trying to get the power down, and we do manage to pull it off and get some traction down the inside. Late lunge down the inside, past multiple cars and up to P14. Really nice move there, late on the brakes. Late on the brakes again here down the inside of Lando Norris into turn 5. Not the usual place you'd overtake, but we pull it off. Up to 13th place already here. Really strong start off the line, and being aggressive, committing to that inside overtake. Going to turn the engine up here as we get the run through turn 9. Can we try and get past Carlos Sainz in the McLaren? We do get a good run. Can we send one on the brakes? How brave do we want to be? Yes, we're going to be quite brave down the inside of Sainz. Almost hitting the back of Russell there. But that's the consequence of a late braking move. You've got to push the limits. Up to 12th place though. Really good start. Making good progress off the start on lap 1. And we're only 2 places off the point. So this is really, really good so far. I can see in front of us absolutely everyone on medium tyres, which is what I expected. So it's going to be a race where it's all down to race pace and pure overtaking ability. So strap yourselves in, boys. There could be a lot of overtakes here today as we get tucked into the slipstream of Russell, but so far we can't really get close enough. Waiting for the DRS to come available at the moment, and also all the AI tend to run high engine modes in the first part of the race, so it's all about just holding on until they eventually run out of DRS, and that's when we can start to push. So for now, let's just try and hang in there and also manage the front left. The front left will overheat very easily around here, so that's a big concern, hence why the soft tyre is not going to be used in our strategy. But so far so good, the car's working much better already. Let's see if it keeps on working as we progress into the race and the pace starts to, really improve and the race opens up a little bit. Very close to Russell here, really tucked in so much. I have a chance if we go through turn 9, picking up so much dirty air though. It's so difficult to stay close through there. Down towards the hairpin. Down the inside of Russell. There we go. Another late braking manoeuvre up to P11 now, and just shy of the points as the DRS will be available next lap. So far it's a great start to this race. Let's see if we can keep it going, try and get past as many cars as possible, and DRS, like I said, will now be enabled on the next lap, so it should be a little bit easier to pull off the overtakes as we get some oversteer there at the final corner. That's not going to help me.
Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled.
And we've got plenty of fuel in the RS as well, so that's good news. Right then, let's get head down, let's get into the points. Right, here we are then, right behind Magnussen. Might be quite tricky to pass the racing point, we all know about it, straight on speed. But I have had a good exit. But look at that, it's just pulling away from us on the straight. So far from what I can tell, everybody's running mediums. There's not a single soft tyre runner from what I can tell in front, looking into the distance and squinting. And it's kind of a sign when, even when racing points and McLarens and Alphas in the top 10 are running mediums, in theory, apparently they got through the Q3 with that tyre. So that kind of tells me everything I need to know. Which is, again, it's a bit of a glitch because in a realistic world, Alphas, McLarens and racing points and Toro Rossos wouldn't get into Q3 on mediums. But when you're not taking part in Q2, that's what happens. So that's why we've got to make this race happen, and the overtakes have to happen on track as we get a good exit here, putting the pressure on Magnussen, but we're lacking a bit of straight line speed here, so it's going to have to be a bit of a audacious move. We're really putting the pressure on though. Can we get him into the hairpin, into turn 10 after turn 9? I'm going to try and get the momentum over the hill. We struggle to get big slipstream down towards the hairpin. Down the inside, contact as Magnussen turns in on me when I was clearly alongside. He may have lost some end plate, but that's not my issue. That's his fault for turning into me as we progress into the top 10. Let's continue on. Bit of a separation starting to happen. You can see the big team starting to pull away from the midfield runners, so let's see if we can make some more moves happen here. We're losing a lot of time here going side by side. That's going to allow me to get really close to Kimi and potentially put some pressure on. I did think about going down the inside there, but I'm just going to back off and try and get the switch back on the McLaren. Here we go. Tucked in nicely behind Raikkonen. As the two in front continue to go side by side. Let's turn the engine up. Let's try and get past Kimi here. We're really close. Through turn 9. Good exit. Right on his gearbox. I'm going to go around the outside here. Late one on the brakes. A little bit hot on the brakes locking up there, but we are going to maybe get 2 moves here for the price of 1. We had a look around the outside of Ricardo. Didn't quite work out, but we did get past Kimi. That's good news. Let's see if we can get past Ricardo and the Toro Rosso here, 2 for 1 possibly. On the pit straight, the Toro Rosso won't have DRS of course. Here we go, good exit. There we go, that's what we wanted. Right on the back of Ricardo, he's going to get the slipstream on the Toro Rosso. We're going to get the double toe, we're going to box him in. Can we get close enough to the Toro Rosso here? I don't think we can. Ricardo going to try and hold it on the brakes, but we're going to take the inside line and the position up to P8 now. Now can we get past Kvyat here in the Toro Rosso? We're going to get very close into turn 4. Got a lot more grip than him. Let's keep the pressure on. I think I can get him into the hairpin possibly. That's going to be the overtaking spot. And then we can chase after the leaders. Here we go, let's get nice and close into the chicane. Turn the engine up. There we go. Now carry the momentum up the hill.
Some information on Verstappen. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
That's good news for us. Around the outside of Kvyat, the hairpin. Job done. There we go. Easy move. And Verstappen struggling in front. What a start to the race after 6 laps. We're up to P7. Exactly what we needed from P18 on the grid. Massive fight back, getting past the entire midfield. And hopefully we can catch the cars in front now, including Verstappen, who's struggling. Let's get our head down and push. Let's keep using a fuel in the RS to pull away from the cars behind. So we'll probably set a personal best on this lap as well. No, not quite. 19.8, but still good pace. The fastest lap is a 19.1, which tells me that the leaders are on medium tyres as well. So it's all about on-track overtakes, because the strategy is going to be the same for absolutely everybody in this race. That last lap I did was actually in lean and none in terms of engine modes, and I was only a 10th off my personal best, which kind of shows the pace we have. And we're now tucked in behind the struggling Max Verstappen here, so let's try and make a move. The Ferraris are pulling way out front, but other than that, there's a big scrap for the podium in front of us, so we can definitely make this happen, I think, and score a podium here today. I think that is realistic and possible. But here we are behind Verstappen. Let's try and make this a relatively easy overtake, probably getting through turn 9 in towards the hairpin of turn 10. That's going to be the likely overtaking spot as Verstappen struggles, and this is good news for us for our championship, of course. One of our rivals through turn 9, nice and easy. There we go, turning up to rich mix, and this should be an easy move. We're going to try and get down the inside of Verstappen here. There we go, job done. Easy overtake up to 6th place, and Hamilton just up the road. Let's get the hammer down, no pun intended, and let's get after these guys.
Caution, caution.
Oh, yellow flag. Who will it be?
Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
Oh yes, it's a Ferrari. It's Charles Leclerc. That's good news for us and our race. There you go, Leclerc out the session, up to P5.
Green flag.
And suddenly this little train is a battle for P2. Look, Gasly's actually pulled away here. Pierre Gasly up to P2 now. Hamilton and Perez in front of us. Let's get after them, and then suddenly we'll be in a podium position after literally 9 laps. What a turnaround this has been. Really strong start to the race, one of my best race starts of all time. Okay, so we're tucked in behind these two, but it's not going to happen as it stands, because the Racing Point has DRS on the Mercedes, which is going to make it pretty much impossible for me to make any kind of overtake. As we set a personal best here. Gasly's pulled away now, so he's solidifying P2. Sebastian Vettel leads. We've got to wait for the two in front to really lose time battling for me to really catch up and make a move happen, I think. But at the minute we're looking good. I feel confident. And we're in this race now. Can I win it? I'm not sure. Depends on Sebastian Vettel's pace, but we can definitely get a 2nd place, I think. That's realistically achievable. I'm going to try and have a look at Perez here. Reason being is because we might actually be able to attack Hamilton as we set another personal best. Hamilton's defenceless without DRS. There goes Perez. He's going to make the move. I do get close. I thought I'd get a little bit closer than that, but not quite close enough. But now's a better chance for me to get past, because with Perez in front without DRS, he'll be a lot more defenceless. I can get the double DRS on Hamilton and really try and make that move. So let's get ready here and wind it up and try and go for the double overtake. That's what I want to try and execute here. Well, let's see if we can pull this off. I need to be very close to Lewis and get a good exit out the final corner to really make this happen. That will do. That's good enough for me. Right then, here we go. Let's try and make this happen. Double overtake time. We're going to get the beautiful double slipstream. Hamilton's gaining on Perez. I'm gaining on the pair of them. Lewis to the inside. Doesn't quite work out there into turn 1, but it's not over yet. Through turn 2 we go. I'll try and get the switch back into turn 3. There we go. Beautifully executed. We're going to be right at the back of Lewis here. He's going to go defensive. We'll go to the outside. Right at the outside of Hamilton here. This is not a good corner for it. Hamilton giving me the squeeze. Puts me wide, and he stays in front for now, but that was almost a beautiful switchback through turn 3, and we got both cars. Let's do right to P4 now. Hamilton up next. We're looking good here for this 3rd place. Here we go then for the chicane. Let's stay nice and close to Lewis. Got to be careful now Perez doesn't do the opposite to me and do the double overtake.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the hards.
We're tucked in behind Lewis. We're going to go down the inside and make it a simple move. Job done. 3rd place. What a first stint. I'm on absolute crack. What a stint. Gasly P2. It could be a strong day for us here today with Red Bull out of the picture. Verstappen with car trouble and Russell way down the order. It could be a good day at the office for Williams if we bring this home. And I think the win isn't out of the question just yet. Sebastian Vettel isn't that far up the road. And in theory, the Williams is the faster car. So we should be hunting him down. Let's get a head down here and try and get after Sebastian Vettel. Lewis and Perez pit, as does Sebastian Vettel. We're staying out here, I think, until lap 16. I think that's what the team wants. But I might pit this lap just to cover myself from an undercut from Hamilton and Perez and keep the 3rd place. Unless Gasly pits, in that case I'll stay out, of course. Right, let's see if Pierre Gasly pits. If he does, we'll stay out for one more. And he does pit in, so we're going to stay out for one more lap. It's hammer time.
Pierre is in for his stop.
Let's give it everything on this lap.
In this lap, push now.
Personal best there, purple final sector. Let's have a strong lap here, really give it everything.
Don't forget, box this lap.
What a stint. I'm moving quicker on this lap, a 10.5 up. Probably would be a fast lap of the race at this point if I finish this lap, but we are going to pit in. Let's turn the engine down and save a bit of fuel in the RS while we can. Also, this avoids getting held up in the pit lane, and also going longer does also mean hopefully everyone will pit on the one stop, so we won't have any traffic to get by. We can just get straight back to working and trying to get past the cars. So here we go into the pit lane. Fantastic first stint, probably the best and greatest first stint I think I've ever done in any career mode race period. From 18th to first place, that's exactly what you want. 18th to third on track. Here we go then. Good stuff for the boys, please.
Release.
There we go. 1 point Evans at 1.876.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
And we're actually closer to Gasly than we were before, so overall, good decision to stay out, of course. We didn't really have much of a choice with Gasly, of course, pitting in, but can both of us here try and put some pressure on Sebastian Vettel for the win? Can it happen? Could we get a 1-2 here today? Let's find out. Hopefully this hard tyre is a good tyre for us and we can keep on pushing. Very strong lap from us. I'm trying to push for the fastest lap of the race. I haven't committed too much fuel ERS towards it though. We do set a purple final sector, but Verstappen did just do an 18.8, so we fall just short of the fastest lap. But I think we'll have a chance later on in the race once the fuel burns off a little bit. For now, I'm just focused on keeping my fuel and tyres in ERS because I want to try and challenge Gasly and potentially challenge Vettel. That's more important to me. So it's kind of a tactical one. We're just kind of saving it. We are catching Sebastian here, both of us. We're slowly gaining on Pierre Gasly here, but George Russell behind. Also getting the hammer down. He's on the pace and he's hunting me down. He's quicker than me and Gasly, so I said the Red Bulls were in the picture today, but Russell's really putting himself in the picture now. He went long on the first in, like myself, and now the hard tyres working quite well for him in the Red Bull, so he could be a threat. We've got to be careful.
Okay, some information on Raikkonen. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Another one bites the dust with reliability issues. This time Kimi Raikkonen. That isn't going to affect our race though as we continue on. I'm just dropping back from Pierre Gasly here slightly. I'm struggling to match his pace. My pace isn't as good on these tyres as it was in the mediums. I can't quite match as Hamilton re-overtakes Russell, so that's good news for us. That battle is going to continue. But yeah, I can't really catch up to Pierre here, so kind of disappointing really after that first in, but obviously this tyre doesn't suit me as much, so it is where it is. I'll keep pushing, but we are struggling a bit for performance. Right, the fuel's starting to burn off now, so I'm going to try and go for the fast lap of the race once again. Now's a good time, as we set a personal best in a purple final sector. We're at that point now, that nice balance between tyre wear and fuel consumption, so we're going to push and see what we can do this lap. Decent lap. Let's see if we can try and beat an 18.4, which is the current fastest lap. Yes, we do. 18.4, but our one's quicker than Verstappen, so we do bring home the extra point, so at least we got that in the bag. Now, can we get a second place, or is Gasly just too quick? I think he has got too much pace. I can't quite catch him. Even with that fastest lap, I've barely made any progress. And Verstappen just snatches it away with an 18.0, so there you go. There goes our fastest lap attempt. I can't match an 18.0, so forget about it. It could be just P3 here today. Oh no. No, not like this. Not again. Come on, man. This is a joke. Wow. Gasly out the race.
Green flag. Green flag. We're racing again.
With 2 laps to go. Gasly out. That's not the way I wanted second place. It could have been a double podium for us. Our first ever double podium. Instead, we have to wait. Damn it, man. Always. Every single time. Okay, so Sebastian Vettel's going to win here today at Spain. I'm 4.5 cents up here on my personal best. I'm going to keep pushing to the line. Let's see if I can nick this fastest lap of the race. I have to aim for a 17.7. That's not the line you want through there, though. That's going to hurt me a bit, unfortunately. But it's still going to be P2. And from P18 on the grid, that is a phenomenal turnaround. And I will take that. What a race.
Great work. Well done. We're really happy with the podium here.
Ferrari have really pulled it out of the bag today. It's a great win. And Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and there's certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Right, so looking at the final race results then, Sebastian Vettel wins the Spanish Grand Prix and everybody set their best laps at the end. Sebastian with a 17.8, I did a 17.8 as well. George Russell actually ended up picking up first up of the race with a 17.6 and also benefiting from some DRS from myself on that last lap, and Verstappen did a 17.7. So overall, it was all very close. I think my final sector, my final chicane wasn't very good, and I probably dropped about a 10th and a half, but I don't think I would have beaten Russell's time. So ultimately the point goes to him, but still we get a second place, and from 18th place on the grid, we've done all of those overtakes on track. No strategy in there whatsoever. It was just pure pace and overtaking prowess that got that one done for us, and I'm very happy. Sebastian converts his pole, so a decently quiet race for him, and George Russell also from P12 up to third place. Good recovery from him, but I will take that. One of my best races in a long time, and that first stint was something unreal. I've never had such a good first stint in my life, so overall very happy with that one, and a well-deserved 18 points, which should hopefully help us keep our championship lead. In terms of other results, the Hamilton P4, good race for him in the Mercedes, who have been struggling this season. Perez P5, Verstappen P6, who had car trouble. Ricciardo P7, Sainz, Norris and Albon scored the final points. Albon there from last to 10th, good result for him. And then Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Kvyat, Bottas, Raikkonen, Grosjean, Stroll all miss out on the points, along with Gasly and Leclerc, who retire from the Grand Prix here today. In terms of the driver standings though, we remain in first place. Sebastian Vettel with that win up to second place now, and the top three covered by 14 points. It's very close going into the infamous Monaco Grand Prix. Pierre Gasly drops back down to 10th place there, with Sainz overtaking him for P9. And in terms of the constructors, we remain in third place, but it's still pretty close. Red Bull don't score a great amount of points today, but still they lead the way with Ferrari in second, their Racing Point in P4, and overall it's all to play for still in both championships, which is good to see going into round 6 of the season for Monaco. But guys, that is it for the race here today at Catalunya, and we're now going to move into the laptop to put some upgrades on for Monaco and also for the following races onto the car. So let's jump into it and let's see what we can do.
Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today? Another podium. You must be getting used to it up there. Appreciate your time.
Okay, so it's time to push on with some R&D upgrades going into the mid part of the season, and we have 3,100 points to spend, and we're going to get to spend those quite nicely on different parts of the car. So first of all, we are going to purchase the failed engine upgrade that we should have had for the last race, and it's for the fuel consumption. Not a major one for performance, it's more just for the long haul, for better racecraft really, with better fuel. To be fair, we are slipping back a little bit in the engine charts, and we are mid-table now, so we do need to improve there, and we will start improving soon. Going into like the power circuits like Spa and Monza, we are going to make some heavy investments going into the engine. But in terms of the next up-and-coming tracks, we've got Monaco next, so I think it's only fair that we invest in some more aerodynamics, so a minor one which will be on the car for the next race. And then we only have, really, on the entire table, we only have major and ultimate upgrades left. So we're going to invest in more upgrades. This time we're going to go to the chassis, and we are the best team here already, and we're just going to kind of further drive that point home by getting a ultimate tyre wear upgrade on the car, which will take 4 weeks to arrive, but hopefully we can get that on for Austria, and that will improve us in that department. And guys, that is going to be it for the upgrades. We spent all of our points, and hopefully over time we can try and overturn and get in front of Red Bull. But guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Career Mode. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a big fat like on it for that massive first hit recovery, and also subscribe if you are new for daily Formula 1 content, and also turn on notifications so don't miss any videos from me. And also finally check out these two videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next episode very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.